the most honorable, Mr. Prime Minister. It's a great feeling.
Yeah.
And I didn't feel while watching the film that this is a agenda driven film. Like, if we make everything political, it's going to be very hard for us to say what we truly want to say. Everything is going to be termed as, oh, it's political or it's propaganda. We'll not be able to. I mean, then we are just taking ourselves backwards. Working with female actors is the last thing that makes me uncomfortable or makes me insecure. Like, you'd probably hear, why aren't you interviewing Shah Rukh Khan? Every second day. Nice big hips, which today I love. But apparently, 12 years ago, I had issues with that. When she won the Emmy last year, how people over there looked up to her. So the people who made Succession, when she told us this, we were like, wow, Alia Bhatt is an original. Anyone who creates a space for themselves is an original. And we need to really, really appreciate them.
Hello everyone, welcome to Showsha. I am Titas Chowdhury in conversation with Ridhi Dogra. Hi Ridhi.
Hi.
How are you?
Very good. How are you?
All good, all good. Congratulations on all the love that's coming your way for the Sabarmati Report.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
We have seen the Prime Minister of India posting about it.
Yes.
What was your reaction like?
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
I really I was very zapped and speechless, and I think I still am. It's a huge honor that they have acknowledged our effort and the fact that we really, really did try to make sure that we stick to the facts and we followed research. So it feels good when you're supported, or someone acknowledges your effort, and someone as um, you know it's like the topmost compliment
Absolutely.
we can receive in the nation. So it's a great feeling. It's an absolute honor.
Yeah. Did you have a little jump in your seat moment when you got that notification?
That's what I'm saying. I went numb. Like, I just went fully speechless. I didn't jump. I was like, oh, wow. And I think that's how I've even shared it on Twitter. Like, it's a wow. And then lots of emojis. That was my state of mind. It's for any project that you do, for any work that you do, to get appreciation and encouragement is always what we are looking for. And when it comes from the topmost man of our country, and it comes from the most honorable, you know, uh, Mr. Prime Minister, it's a great feeling.
Yeah.
And yeah, so it's still sinking in. I think it's not yet settled inside me. I feel like I'll need a few more people telling me this and probably some discussions for me to say, okay, yeah, this happened. But right now it's just feeling like, wow, did he see it? Like, I still don't know if he saw it. I don't know, we don't know if he saw it, or like, don't know anything. But if he did, then it's a great feeling.
Yes, I'm sure, I'm sure. Prior to the release of the film, there was a lot of chatter online. Some people felt that it could be, a propaganda film. Of course, you guys have reacted enough, to it. Do you see that perception somewhat changing post the release of the film?
I hope so. One does hope that it changes, because our intention, and even I saw the film for the first time when it released. I hadn't seen the film before that. So even when I saw it, I was with the story. Like, I never felt, I didn't feel while watching the film that this is a agenda driven film. I mean, I enjoyed the character arcs. I enjoyed the journey of, the years that has gone by between 2002, 2007, 18, and 8, 9, 10. So I really enjoyed the story as the story. And I'm saying this as an audience that, I was cheering for Vikrant's character. I wanted, every time he was making jokes, I was with him. I felt like, yeah, I mean, there were lots of elements in the film which worked for me as an audience. So I didn't feel while watching it that it was one, and I didn't feel that while we were making it. And I'm happy with my character also, because there's a certain, we've not gone overboard. She's not over dramatic. She's not trying to, exaggerate what she already is. So yeah, I was happy to see it, and I'm happy that people are watching the film and then making their perception, because that is what we wanted. We don't want you to not have an opinion. Of course, have an opinion on our film, but watch it first and then come to any decision or whatever you want to say. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. When you're doing a film, which has a certain political color to it, let's say, it is a slippery slope because you tend to hurt certain sentiments and you do not know of it, which group might get affected. Do you agree with it that it's a slippery slope as an actor to make
I
that, to say a yes to one?
It shouldn't be. It becomes so because I everything in our country, like, if we make everything political, it's going to be very hard for us to say what we truly want to say, And, like when I got the script, and I'm an actor, I'm an artist. So I'm seeing, oh wow, I've seen so many such films in the West. Like All President's Men, or the various films and series that are being made on Watergate, or so much has been made on 9/11, or so much has been made on the Me Too movement and what journalists did. So journalistic films should be, and ours is a journalistic film. Of course, journalism goes hand in hand with politics, so you can't take away the politics of journalism, so, but what I'm trying to say is that I hope in our country we are able to make more such films, because every generation needs an idea of what has gone by, and it's good to be in touch with your history. Some of the things don't get mentioned anywhere, and nobody's saying that you see this and you say, this is it, this is what they're trying to teach me and spoon feed me. No, go be aware and go out there and do your own research, learn more about your history. So from that point of view, I feel like, I hope there are more journalistic films. I hope this gives a rise in more investigative films where we, because those are very interesting. They often offer a different take to how we see a particular incident or story in, maybe in a particular time, and you get a fresh perspective. And every few years there'll be a fresh perspective. So that allowance and that acceptance of journalistic films, if we get, I think there's a lot more stories in India that we can tell, and also a lot more stories that the audience deserves to see.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. It's also informative, I think. We
Yeah.
get to learn so much, which we usually
Yeah.
don't get to read so much about. This reminds me of this journalistic film, since you're mentioning this film was She Said.
Yes.
It was about
Yes.
the Me Too movement, and what a beautiful
Exactly.
film
We
that
need those films.
Yeah.
Now, if everything is going to be termed as, oh, it's political or it's propaganda, we'll not be able to. I mean, then we are just taking ourselves backwards.
Right.
We need to move forward. And I swear, when I read this, I felt like, oh, there's so many films I've seen in the recent past that are American films that talk about so much of how news is churned out.
Sure.
And we need to, I mean, our audience deserves it.
Very true, very
Yeah.
well said. Speaking of the backlash that happened pre-release, Vikrant said that there were death threats. I'm sure this was the first time that you guys, experienced something of that sort. What was going on in your mind, Riddhi? Were you scared for even a moment?
No, I'm not scared. I didn't get any death threats or anything. And even if I were to, when you're like, when what you've done is honest and you don't have any skeletons in your closet, and you're not like, convoluted, or you're not manipulating anything, and you're sticking to the truth, I don't think there's much to, you don't worry, you don't get scared. You can get scared for, antisocial behavior of others, but luckily I've not had to deal with that.
Great, okay. In the film, there's Raashii Khanna also, the parallel lead along with you. Vikrant, of course, is there, but I'm talking about women actors. In Jawan also, there were like so many other women.
Yeah.
There's Abir Gulal going ahead with his one.
Yeah.
I can understand, as an actor, you shouldn't be insecure. But there are always these external factors telling you, don't do films where you have another woman.
Right.
Have you heard a lot of that?
I actually don't take anybody's advice. I do what I want to do, and working with female actors is the last thing that makes me uncomfortable or makes me insecure. I love working with female actors. More than that, I think before everything else, what's important is the part that I choose. I should be secure enough in that part. That's it. You know, the part should be of my liking. Then it doesn't matter, because I understand where your question is coming from, but that only happens if you feel like what you're doing is lesser, or what you're doing is not so good. I don't do anything where I have those feelings.
Right.
So I always walk in on a set really secure, and that's how I like it, because I want to have a good time on set. I want to be able to enjoy with my female co-actors. I don't want any, her shot is this and my shot. I don't like that. That's never going to be me or my style of working in this industry. I want to be. I'm a big believer of sisterhood, and I want to be there for others, especially female actors. So this is the last thing I'd walk on to a set with. Any insecurity. If I'm feeling insecure, I won't go on that set.
Okay. You know why I asked you is because I remember speaking to Raashii, this was earlier this year. She said that, I have incidentally worked on a lot of films where I have had multiple women, on the as parallel leads. And she said, while I am more than happy to do that, I have had people telling me, this is not perhaps the right choice that you have made. So that's
Yeah,
where
that's
this
why you
comes
asked me,
from.
but I don't listen to anybody.
Yeah, that's
Nobody is
great.
giving me advice.
That's great.
And yeah.
But tell me, since we're talking about free advice, what's the most bizarre advice that you've received? Maybe in the beginning of your career.
I think the cutest advice, which a lot of us, I think, deal with, is our family and parents saying, "Arey, tum wo kyun nahi kar lete?" Like maybe a very popular show. Why don't you do that? Just go and do it. Like,
It's that easy.
Yeah. So I think and I think a lot of us hear that in media. Like you'd probably hear, "Why aren't you interviewing Shah Rukh Khan?" Every second day.
I know.
Like, why don't you talk to him? So you'd be like, there are ways to do things. I can't just go up.
Yeah.
So that's, I think, the cutest. I would say it's the cutest. Like they are so innocent and so
Yeah.
like sweet. Most of our family that they feel like, why are you doing this? Do it, no? So yeah, that's I think. But apart from that, have I got any bizarre? No, I've actually not got any bizarre advice or anything. No. Maybe you can give me an example. Maybe then I can say.
Bizarre advice. I was speaking to an actor. She said that I need to my nose is crooked, so
all
I
of
need
that.
to get it fixed for me to get more work. That
I used to be told all this
Yeah.
initially, but the thing that I've learned is that if you're going to sit in front of anybody feeling a little less confident, they're going to tell you what to do with yourself. Or if you're going to sit in front, and I'm saying this for every human being, it's not just for actors or people in the field where we're in front of the camera. I'm saying this for anyone. Like tomorrow, if you go out there and you say, yeah, I don't like this t-shirt, my arms are not looking good. Everyone's going to start giving you advice on how to lose weight, how to tone yourself, how you're not doing the right thing. Then they'll also look at what you're eating in the next half an hour, and then they'll say, see, you're eating this. So it just, if you disclose your insecurities in front of other people, they, out of love or out of whatever, out of care, concern, or their expert advice and opinions, they feel like, I must tell this person, you shared this problem with me. These are the problems because of which this is happening. So I've stopped doing that long back. Whether it's anything to do with my body, I don't complain.
Okay.
So if I walk in and I say, I love myself, you will not be able to tell me what's wrong with me.
Yeah.
And it's happened with advice also, career advice. If I am genuinely confused, I have a lot more people advising me. And the moment I say, okay, guys, I got it, no one's, then it's all like, oh, she's a very strong girl. She's got a solid head on her shoulders. Then everything changes. Yeah, it's interesting.
It is, but it must be difficult. So I'm very happy you have this thick skin wherein you're like, I take my own decisions.
Oh,
I
develop
should
this.
be-
You
yeah, you
develop
develop it over time, right? Initially, I'm sure it's difficult. Since you mentioned, the fact that you're so comfortable in your own skin, in your own body today, was there a time when you had body image issues?
Of course. I was just a month ago, I was reading an old diary entry of mine from 10, 12 years ago.
Okay.
I can't believe I had issues with my body. Like I was
You-
thinner. Like I mean, I have a curvy body. I have like, nice big hips, which today I love. But apparently 12 years ago, I had issues with that. And, I'm like crying over, I need to work out. And I'm like, what is wrong with this girl? So I remember that this was a long, long time ago, but a couple of years after this particular time,
Right.
I had like fully become comfortable and accepted my body. I accepted the way I am, and yeah, so there's nothing that can probably shake me where that is concerned. But yes, like every other girl, even I was made to feel like something's not right with my body or the way I look. Like, I think all of us are constantly, being, there's always this comparison that's out there for women, for
especially.
girls.
Yes.
So if it's a young girl today opening Instagram, she will see two beautiful girls pitted against each other and being told, oh, they are both wearing cream color, which one is looking better? And I hate that. I completely hate it when I see all this, because this is where it all starts. You're constantly telling girls, young girls, that you need to do mascara, you need to do blush on, you need to do makeup, you need to have filters on, your hair should look a particular way. And it's not today. I mean, this has been there since time immemorial, since the 20s, 30s, 40s. Like, it's always been there. I think that's really, really, that's what makes women always feel insecure about themselves. Then they're always judging themselves, because there's a beauty standard which is only there for them. It's not there for men.
It's not there for men. You're right.
Yeah. So I very, very early on decided to free myself of this.
Great.
Yes, I did. Yeah.
No,
I
seriously,
genuinely
more
did.
power to you. Not everybody. Can
Especially
be
in
able to
this profession,
Yeah.
it is very hard, very daunting, because there's constantly people trying to put you in a box, and you have to be very aware that, no, I don't, oh, that's a box I'm getting into. Snap out of it, step out of it. So it's tricky. You need to be really aware, but yeah, it's something that I consciously choose to do.
Great. So, Ridhi, you have spoken enough about playing a mother to Shah Rukh Khan in Jawan, and I'm not going to ask you about it again.
Thank you.
No, what I'm going to ask you though is, since you were talking about actors being boxed, did you start getting a lot more mother roles though?
No, that's
That's
not
okay.
happening. That's not the box. I don't think anyone is putting me in that box. But yeah, it was nice to be able to, like, I think I was just having fun, honestly.
Yeah.
And I feel like, as just a working female actor, I was like, okay, come on, let's take this and let's do this. Let's just age ourselves, let me just age myself, rather than anybody else putting me in that box.
That's great.
Yeah, but I've only got great, great responses for Kaveri Amma, because most of the people are like, we are very upset that she was made a mother. So that's great. I'm very happy with that feedback.
Okay. A few months back you had tweeted something, and it was about the entourage cost thing, and you said that, hey,
Ah.
what about actors like us who are sitting for
Oh.
substantial roles? Now we know the dichotomy in the industry. Where on one hand, stars walking away with so much of the money, and then there are actors like you who really want to do good work. How do you look at this dichotomy, and where do you see this going?
See, it's all a business. It's all got to do with commerce and the money, and there's a lot of capitalism now in our country, and it's definitely come into the industry big time. So everyone's like, oh, if I get to make money, I will. That's become the vibe, which is great. Why shouldn't people make money? But yeah, rather than talking about how people are charging a lot, I mean, I just feel like, where are the people who used to make stars? So we are now dependent on stars. We're not saying we can make stars. And we are not saying that I see something in you and there's promise in you. Not just me, I'm saying anybody else. That I see an acting, I see a character in your performance, or I see a character in how you are as a person, and I want to make something out of that. So, I mean, it's it's very like, I don't know. So I just feel, yeah, there is a dichotomy, and I feel like, and it's like, if you look at the larger picture also, everyone seems to be talking about how in the industry right now we are lacking conviction,
Yeah.
whether it's in storytelling. So I think this is also part of lacking conviction, where you'd much rather spend money and know that, this is um, um, this is a lot of money going out, and you could have value for money elsewhere, taking maybe another crew, maybe another actor, whatever. But you are going after that because that's what the market is saying, and it's about capitalism. So you're not chasing conviction, you're chasing money.
Money.
So that's, and why can't you be convinced while making money? So either be fully convinced that no, I'm paying so much money to these big stars, and they deserve it and they get me the returns. But if they don't, if someone's not, then I think one needs to, like, that's what one ideally wishes, right?
Yeah.
That you hope that they would put the money on talent, and they would say that, okay, come on, let me back this, and let me make this something. But yeah, dichotomy.
Dichotomy. Yes. Very lastly, earlier into the conversation, you spoke about sisterhood and
Yeah.
being a big believer of sisterhood. uh, I want to know, what has Ekta Kapoor's feedback been to your character in the film? You guys have had some fabulous collaborations, over the years. And you had also, I remember, said that, I respect Ekta Kapoor because, she's been the wind beneath the wings for so many women actors and crew members as well. Tell me about it.
So, feedback on the character, honestly, I've not got. In fact, I did tell her that everyone has given me, very specific feedback, or review or praise for my character. You've not really told me how you thought I was, to which I didn't get an answer also. And I was like, okay, I didn't get a response to that as well. But and I mean, I'm hoping it was good, because it was, she knew what we were making, and we couldn't have done what we were doing if she didn't okay it. So I guess that's why I also didn't get a response, because the response of being okay with my performance is like, you're good. So yeah, and about her, yes, she, I think, is an extremely dynamic and such a genius, and absolutely undervalued. I feel, what she does by herself is far larger than, I think, the credit she's given, or the way people look at her. We have a genius like a Shonda who does Shondaland, or Ryan Murphy. She's in the same league as these people. In fact, she's told us stories about when she won the Emmy last year, how people over there looked up to her. So the people who made Succession, when she told us this, we were like, wow. They actually went up to her and they're like, we're aware of what you do and how you've done it. And that's incredible. But I feel like in India, we don't celebrate women. We do not recognize we don't recognize them enough. It's mostly, it's mostly about, like, even if you recognize their efforts, it'll also be about what they're wearing, what shoes, where they are going. I mean, it's redundant. You don't do that with men. You don't do that at all with men. So I feel like we need to celebrate people like her, because her and many other people like her, men, women, whatever. But these are originals, they are people who are, you say OG, they're absolutely original, because they are thinking of everything from their brain. That's it. It's the ideas that are coming out of, an Ekta Kapoor's mind are all original. And that is, you don't understand, guys, that, I mean, I appreciate that, and I don't mind talking about it, or talking about anybody else. Like, the millions of beautiful, wonderful women, like a Tabu is an original, like a Guneet Monga is an original. There's so many, actually, so many. Shri Devi was an original. Madhuri Dixit is an original. Anyone who Alia Bhatt is an original. Anyone who creates a space for themselves is an original, and we need to really, really appreciate them, so that in the future, women and little girls understand that, see, if I use my mind, I will be appreciated, and this country will recognize it. But right now, we just want to reduce them to hair, makeup, outfit, and beauty, skin, and what do you do for your skin, and those are the comments they get in everywhere. So yeah, I feel like she's remarkable, and a huge resource for our country, and a huge matter of and a person of pride. We should all take a lot of pride in how she is so well received worldwide, that we should also sort of do that.
And beautifully paved the way for
That she does. I mean, I've never worked with her in television,
Hmm.
but I've heard this in my television career. I'm on another set, and there are people, suppose the teams, the hair, makeup, the crew, they've spoken about, if you work in Balaji, there's a lot of prosperity, and it's very auspicious, and you should try and working. You can tell, how much people have built their lives, thanks to Balaji and their families. So a lot, I've heard this a lot from people who've worked for years and years. So isn't that great?
Absolutely. Great. On that note, Ridhi, thank you so much. I'm looking forward to what you do next.
Thank you.
Yes, I'm looking forward to our Gulal for sure.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Fingers crossed. We'll talk more about it once I have permission. Right now, I don't have permission. I know in another interview, everyone's a little like, why is she talking like so cagey, and why is she not being open? Guys, I don't have permission to talk.
That's okay. We understand. See, I did not ask you. That's why. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Hi, my name is Ridhi Dogra, and you're watching me on News 18.